Well, hello again. It's time for another random stream that isn't on Monday. I'm Statistical L0. And what we got going on today is we're going to go ahead and color one of my comic strips. One of the ones that ends up on Twitter for you guys all to see and do every once in a while for the entertainment of the people that follow me. So I guess let's get right into it. Hey, good stuff, Comic Skater. Welcome. Peyton, welcome. So I got this all set up here. This isn't quite going to be like last time. The last stream that I did like colored basically like a, I don't know, some of you guys were here, like it was like a layout quality drawing, right? And the coloring was totally off and stuff. Hey, welcome, Amanda. This time around, I went ahead and I drew a comic strip real quick here, like I normally do. And I'm going to go through and color it kind of a little bit like I normally do here. Maybe try a couple of different things. I don't know. There's been a lot of it's just been a lot of stuff. Oh, you know what? I want a little less up here. There we go. A lot of stuff on Twitter that I haven't been really interested in as far as talking about stuff, but what people are doing stuff wrong. Hey, it's Muttman. Welcome. And I wanted to just, try to put something else out there that wasn't screaming about, Amber Heard or what the comics industry is doing, like popular right now. Okay, so first, what I got a base color right here. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this into like a mid-morning, late evening kind of color. Maybe not quite that harsh. Let's go more towards yellow. Okay, so yeah, when you're coloring your stuff, you don't always have to do like sky is blue, sky is, like that. Like you can go a wide range of different things. And this is just a base too. And we put it on a separate layer so that we can change that kind of thing if we need to. All right, so in this case, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to color me just off white, right? So I'm going to go in here and I'm going to take this little picker. That's gray. That is gray. We don't want that. Well, it's good enough. Okay, so I'll even zoom up on that. So what I'm doing right now, I'm just going to do a quick flat job. Get this all taken care of. So, and I mean, for those of you that don't really color, don't really know when you're doing your flatting, basically the main reason is so that you can quick select it at any time and change colors and things like that. All right, so we'll get this stuff too. What the heck? Those are the letters. All right. So shoot. Woke up this morning, last night, helped my wife put a chicken fence in. She got a bunch of chickens. So now technically we are very much bird people. There are 9 of them. We named them, let's see here. What do we got? We got Karen, not named by me. She flew out and tried to attack me like day one. Or maybe, she just wanted to hang out. I don't know. But she took one look at me from the box as a chick and she flew right out. We got Betty and Veronica. Karen's a kind of a golden one. And then there's Nugget, which is another smaller golden one. I got Betty and Veronica, who are both constantly fighting people. No, they're not roosters. They're far enough along where we know. We got Dawn, which is this black chicken with like some gold accents. We got 2 red ones that were named Henrietta and Patricia. Again, I didn't name them. And then we've got this big black one named Shady Hawkins. That one I did name. So we had to put up a chicken fence yesterday. And Now I'm hobbling around like an old guy. She wanted to make it out of pallets and stuff like that, so that's kind of what we went with. Oh wow! But that's a new thing for us. She always, my wife, she used to kind of do stuff on a farm, and she wanted something. It was either chickens or goats, and we had to go with chickens because no, not the goats, not right now. Yeah. So listen to that melodic sound of Into Space. I don't know. Most people really like. What do we got here? Most people like say night driving. I hear that one a lot. You don't really hear dance pop much, do you? No, it's because that's annoying. Acoustic cinematic. I hear that sometimes, but I feel like this one just fits with me. So yeah, after this, I got to get back to drawing Chaplain cards. I'm on number 43. I just got this big Chaplain book for reference to start drawing some more. And then, once we get all done with those, which will total, between this and the last campaign, 500 Chaplain cards, I've got the story to finish, the Tramp Trail story. Then I can start working on my own stuff again. Okay, so that's flatted, right? Well, let's get some orange in here. Maybe not that orange. There we go. All right. That's one thing I like about a cartoonier style. You can really do anything. The more realistic you go, and it might be preferred, I don't know, but you are kind of stuck to certain constraints in how the anatomy goes and how the character looks. But when you start going cartoony, there's a lot more leverage and a lot more freedom in your drawing that you have, as long as it's consistent. Now, see, when you do some cartooning and it's very inconsistent and it's breaking the laws that you kind of set down already, well then, you just need more time to cook your art, because as long as it's consistent, the reader's going to buy it. It's a lot like movies where you get. I noticed this. How many years ago was it when The Incredibles 2 came out? Like, that entire movie was perfectly consistent. It was all CGI. You couldn't. All right, let's see here. Let's go with it. Excuse me. New layer. There. Bag. Okay. Where was I? Oh yeah. With the Incredibles, it was a consistent movie. There was nothing to really take you out of said movie. Like when you watch a movie, a live action one, sometimes you get some bad CGI and it pulls you right out of the movie. There was nothing to do that in The Incredibles, and as far as body proportions and stuff goes, very, very cartoony. Didn't stop the audience from buying every minute of it, as far as consistency was concerned. That's why I prefer the cartooning. Although, it doesn't hurt to brush up on your anatomy so that you can, learn the rules to break the rules, right? Got to go back to this. Just get that. There we go. Should have done that in the first place. Gotta make sure you get all these little like gaps and stuff like that too. I was gonna try some of this last night, but as you may or may not know, Wednesday nights have become incredibly busy. I think at one point there were, at least as far as my subscriptions and stuff like that go, there were something like 6 or 8 different streams going on at the same time. So it was a good night to take the night off. We had like, I think there was a John Mayland birthday stream. There was Mike Bancroft. There was, well, after that was Camel Moon. You had, I think, Graham Nolan was on, I believe. You had, was it Piper? My goodness, it's just too much to keep up on a Wednesday night. Now, see, the thing about flat coloring, kind of like what I was talking about yesterday, when you put the shading into the... Hey, Mom. Yeah, 6 to 8. There were, at one point, I want to say there were like 6 different streams going as far as what I was subscribed to. It was quite a bit. But you know what? They all had decent turnouts from when I was, making the rounds and stuff like that. It looked like everybody was getting some viewers. All right. This is a badly drawn hat, but we're going to run with it. Oh. Yeah, I think they were all CG related, at least. The ones that I saw. At one point. I've been looking for stuff to listen to when nobody's really streaming or anything like that. It's not music, it's it's some kind of a TV show or something like that. Am I using Wacom? Yes, I am. This is the Wacom 1. Wacom? Wacom? The Wacom 1. Wacom 1, whatever it is. It's pretty affordable. It's about, what is the screen size? It's like a 1 by 8 inches or something like that. It's not too bad. But yeah, it's I think one of their cheaper tablets, and this was the first. My wife got me this for Christmas. This was my. I had one of those old ones. I had one of the ones where you just sit and stare at the screen as you use. There we go. But I didn't like that. I didn't like that at all. I just decided to forget it. But doing this, let me tell you, it makes a huge difference. And the best part is, the more you draw on here, although it's not quite the same, don't let anybody tell you it is, you do get better at drawing, like actual on paper and stuff like that. But you got to be careful with your proportions and stuff, because you draw a head too dang big on here and you can always just grab it and resize it. You do that in real life, you're gonna get all kinds of eraser marks and stuff like that, and you can't exactly pinch and drag down there. But hey, that's what sketchbooks are for, I guess. Really has helped all the clutter in my room, because for a long time I didn't really throw anything out, so I would have just stacks and stacks of old drawings just all over my room. A paper bomb exploded or something like that. But now I can just toss these in a recycling bin, forget about them, or keep them for reference for later on. All right. What says, I love doing my pencils and paper and then doing all the technical work digitally. Yeah. Well, see, the thing is, I used to do that, When I scan it in, I've got this little scanner next to my desk because I'd work a little bit smaller. Whoops, what am I doing? You don't need to color it in. It would look different. You know, I mean, like the lines would be a little more jagged. They wouldn't quite be right. It wouldn't look as fresh as it did on the paper. So that's when I just go ahead and use this and get it done, you know, right the first time. That way it always looks fresh. Always looks like a... Now see, we got problems here. We got problems. Good. All right. There we go. Should have just zoomed in and done this in the first place. There we go. So you might realize this, but I am not exactly a colorist. Something I've been meaning to learn more about, right? But never have really taken the time to just sit down and get into it. But we'll see. I do okay enough. Okay. But that's the goal, isn't it? To like completely do everything yourself, to be able to learn to do everything yourself. Okay, what are we doing next? Hat and bag's done. Let's go for the fence. What did you say, fen? All right. Let me get like a little bit more of a grayer brown there. We don't want it quite as... All right. There we go. Well, no. You know what? We want a little bit more skewing. What are we looking at for this bag? There? All right. I want something a little brighter. There we go. Yeah, that's not bad. Subtle. Different. But I'll take it. Oh. See, it's kind of a curse at the end of the day sometimes with comic strips, because unless you're working for a big syndicate, you know, they're loved, but they don't make any money. So really putting a lot of time into them, it's a gamble. Now, see, here are the benefits that I can count at least. A, it's great training for what you're doing. You can get anything done really, really fast in a comic strip. And you can experiment quite a bit in terms of just getting it done quickly. You know what I mean? Like, you can do most anything you can do in a comic strip in terms of like storytelling. I mean, you can't do the giant splash pages, but you can do a single like single panel strip that looks a little bit longer and has, you know, kind of that widescreen format to it. But the reason I chose comic strips as like a expertise is because this is one of the last remaining tethers to normal people in comics there are. Most people don't read, you know, like Spider-Man and stuff like that, especially if the sales or anything go by it. They're watching the cartoons or the movies or whatever like that. They don't read the comics. And some never did, you know. Some just, the comics were never their bag. But when they opened up the paper in the morning, sometimes, you know, they would maybe take a look at like what's going on with Garfield or Peanuts or Beetle Bailey or Wizarded or, you know, any number of those. And they did so as kids, and it was almost tradition for a lot of households, you know, like sometimes the parents would... My grandpa liked he liked Beetle Bailey. That was his favorite. Geez, I still remember the day that Calvin and Hobbes quit. Even as a little kid, it was one of my favorite strips, and then all of a sudden I was explained, yeah, it's not going to be made anymore. Didn't quite get it. He just walked away at that point. But I understand now as an adult. I see what he was doing, and I get it. Makes sense. He said all he wanted to say with the characters. And why keep it a zombie kind of thing where it's moving along and it doesn't exactly have any reason to live. Hey, CB Smallwood, welcome. That says I still have the funnies. Beetle Bailey is my grandpa's favorite. Yeah, it's really sad to see how far it's fallen. Like, I remember when the Sunday paper would have like what 4-6 straight pages of comic strips, all kinds of them. Now I feel like it's down to like 2 or so, maybe 4. I don't know. I haven't looked for a while, but last time I looked, it was like tear-inducing how small it was. It's terrible. But, you know, in my own way, I'm kind of honoring those, doing these strips here. Trying to... There we go. That's not bad. Let's go over to this one here. So I started out doing these things as, when I came back, I started doing comic strips as a way to shout out creators, their channels, their books. You know, I do comic strips just based on the creators themselves. And that was great. And that was a lot of fun, a lot of good practice and training. The only trouble is, as anybody that's been around here for more than a few minutes knows, you know, you start to get see these fights. And then before long, this person's not around, or anybody that's associating with this person could be a problem. So before long, you know, half of my comic strips were a little out of date because the people that were interacting and having fun were really no longer interacting with each other anymore. Okay, so I created, you know, this bird here, and I started doing some, you know, like stuff that pertained to Twitter. Well, it's relevant to a point. I'm actually going to move up into the inks and just move this over. It is relevant to a point, but at the same time, it's a situation where if you're not on Twitter, you're not going to know what exactly I'm talking about here. In terms of whatever the joke is. Like, most people that are in Comicsgate, most people that read comics, you know, they probably get the joke for sure. But then you've got that person that has, you know, that's just kind of walking in. It's not going to mean a lot to them, which is a reason for not collecting them. You know, these are for you guys. Well, this one's a little bit more like, you know, you can kind of tell what's going on, even if you don't read anything. But these are for you guys to just get a laugh at for a second on your timelines. And it's good practice for me. Now, I mean, one day there's a possibility that I'll come up with something, maybe pitch to Alterna or something like that. But it's got to be worth your time. It's got to be worth Pete's time. And it's got to be worth my time, you know? I'm not just going to phone something in just to have a book. Okay, so we got the fence out of the way. So far, so good. Now let's call this one the ground. Okay, great. So now what we want to do is we want to get a good... How's that look? Not quite. It looks like skin. Find a good color. Let's do a little more toward yellow, maybe? Not quite there. What do I want? What am I looking for? Sometimes, you know, that's just what it is at a desk. You just sit and try different colors out, see what you like. Let me go with like a... We definitely want sort of a brown, like an earthier... Hey, Peep, welcome to the chat. Welcome to the chat. Just color in a strip here. Okay, so we want like a... How's that look? Yeah, perfect. That's what I want. All right. So we want this ground to be... Let's go back here. There we go. Great. All right. We'll just go real messy here. Oh, what am I doing? You know what? I gotta reselect these here. See, the reason I do this is so that I can just carry through and not have to worry about breaking the panel or anything like that. And just draw on it. Now, see, one of the advantages and disadvantages of taking a little bit less time on YouTube, as far as like watching and stuff like that, is there's still a lot of great shows that I watch. I just have to sit and watch them on replay, and sometimes at 2 times. Charlie just had a little bit of a talk not too long ago that I got to get back to and listen. Sounds like her shows. All right. That's not bad. That's not too bad. Okay, so now we got that. What I want to do is I want to just go in here with this. I'm going to call this greenery. However, I don't really want to make it. Well, I guess we can try that. Can we get something between a blue and a... Let's try that, see what happens. It's a nice green. I just don't know if it's going to work for this, but we're going to find out. Thank you, Pete. Thank you very much. It's my goal, if I'm going to do a YouTube channel, which, you know, at first it just started out as a way to kind of get those polls to you guys and talk about that real quick without, you know, a ton of hassle. But if I'm going to continue the YouTube channel, I would really like something that a person can go back to and watch, you know, a week or 2 weeks from now or a year from now and still maybe get something out of it. That's the end game. That's what we're trying to figure out how to do here. So I don't talk too much about, you know, a lot of the current events. Every once in a while I'll mention some campaigns, but I certainly try not to, because it dates it immediately. And there are, of course, streams that, let me just move this down a little bit. There are some streams, of course, you know, you start up with the intent of talking about this stuff. Get some texture on here. But, I mean, if I can help somebody out in terms of whether they look at this and maybe get inspired to do something themselves, or maybe they're having like a block, they have a look at this stuff and maybe they see some things I'm doing wrong, and then that, you know, like spurs them to try something out, or they like what I'm doing and it's the answer to the problem they've been thinking on. Well, wonderful, you know. But what I do not want is an entire channel full of, which is, I mean, you know what, it's probably the reason it's anybody's guess, of course, but I mean, like, in not succeeding so much on YouTube, because I'm sitting here oh shoot, maybe I did succeed. I got some bots. They've been all over the place lately, haven't they? Maybe I did succeed. Let me just deal with this quick. Cut these guys out. Remove. There we go. Oh, here we go. The war has begun. Wow. There's a lot of them. I think I was watching an Alterna stream and a ton of these just showed right up. All right. Wow. Haha, Pete. Writing that down real quick, he says. So So I think I took care of most of it. All right. Back to the show. Nope. We back. Okay, no. I think, okay, we're good. All right, so where was I? Oh, yeah. All right. So here we are with this. And what I want is I want a brighter green here. And then I want a soft brush. And we're going to go, yeah. Doesn't quite work. All right. I have to hit this. Just have a hard line, I guess, between the two. There we go. Down a little bit. And then this one. We want this a little bit brighter because, it's in the sunlight. So, oh, no, I don't like that. There we go. That's better. Wow. That's the second time. That's the second time I've had, when bots attack. The first time was like maybe 3 shows in. 2-3 shows in, I think. It's a good time. But yeah, but it's one of those things where they go into like a weird hibernation period, and then they all come out in force. All right. I like that better. Actually, you know what? There we go. Good use of lasso. Okay. Oh, see, that's why we lock off that stuff. Okay. We back? Nope, we're not back. Wow. I'd get a mod in here, but I don't think my channel's all that big, right? I need one yet. So yeah, enjoy it. Well, it's a tiny little channel. Sometimes these experiences are the best. You get to get in, just sit and talk with people, or have a channel that's relatively distraction-free from what you're looking at. Like, it's nice. Versus the big guys, where sometimes, mind you, you might as well just go ahead and watch it on replay because there's no real interaction. People are constantly trying to get the attention of the hosts. All right, so how's that looking? Not bad, not bad. You wouldn't think to do a yellow sky, but it works well enough, I think. All right, so let's see. Let's have a look at Mr. Chicken here. I think this chicken is going to be kind of like a brownish red. Let's go here. Let's get this up. Chicken. There we go. I suppose I could do a bunch of these like, later at night when more people are on, but I like seeing my wife too. And she's home at night. So we'll be a daytime channel and a replay show. Except for you fine people who are here. Which means a lot, by the way. I never know when I'm starting one of these up, if it's going to be like I'm just kind of drawn by myself, or if some people show up. And so far, mind you, a lot of people have shown up to these. So, that tells me I'm not completely hated in the community yet. If anybody hates me, it's news to me, but I don't stick my head out too often to check. Hey, Paul, it's going great and glad to see you. It's certainly something that I think social media has done, where people all of a sudden care what random strangers say about them. That they don't know anything about them, not even their name, and all of a sudden, like, it's a huge problem that this probably like 12-year-old is saying something. You go, oh yeah, it doesn't bother me, and some people, of course, are sitting in their homes fuming about about whatever this is that's going on. All right, so let's give him get up wide eyes. All right, now if I were really coloring this, like, I would probably go ahead and do everything separately, like the beak, the helmet, all that stuff. But you don't have to worry too much about that today. These comic strips, typically, they're fast done. And what are we at, 36 minutes? Not bad. I mean, I could probably do faster if I wasn't talking, but what would be the point? Just jumping on and not really saying anything, Got to be able to talk to people. Let's get a little bit darker on that. There we go. I remember back in 2016, I started this old comic strip in Another Life, right? I did that daily for 3 years, and then weekly for another year after that. Did about 1,200 strips on that series. The whole thing it started with was, you see, the 2020 elections were happening, and that's all everybody was doing. They were just arguing about, whatever was going on, and I couldn't take it anymore. So I kind of reasoned that what I should do is just try to put something on the timelines that people can be, that people can laugh about. Now, at the time, I had not, I've been trying to draw more like, the comic book guys, like, who would I have been? Like, say, I think Ed McGuinness was my favorite at the time, but guys like that, guys that were way above what my skill level was, and it wasn't working out. It was real ugly. So what happens is I decide that I'm going to learn how to draw a different style. I selected like a cartoonier style. I had to try to figure out more cartoony eyes, and sometimes that's what you got to do. If you're a creative person and you're you're dead set on creating or something like that, and you're drawing and you're drawing and you're drawing and you're practicing, and it's just not getting any better. Things are looking wrong. Maybe you need a new tool belt. Maybe you got to go and kind of skew your style in a different approach. Maybe you don't necessarily need to have it realistic. Maybe you go like Super Scotty Young style, you know what I mean? Or maybe you try something that's like slightly cartoony but still got some realism to it. Or maybe you go like full, change from going like solid to like scratchy shading and stuff like that, trying something different. There's a lot of different ways to do it. It doesn't all have to look like Jim Lee or like Pete says, it takes time to figure out how you like to draw. And that's where, you try different stuff. You don't try to make all eyes realistic. As a matter of fact, that's something I think that a lot of people could really benefit from nowadays, is just, let me see here. Things are so complicated. You know what I mean? Like, I see some of these crowdfund campaigns where you've got these like heroes or villains, and they've got these insanely complicated costumes. Looks beautiful in a single pose, but I always feel terrible for the artist, because it's like now you've created this thing that you have to draw over and over again from every single angle, with all these buckles and all these like spikes and all these, you know, things that have to be foreshortened and you know, put in perspective, and all the piping on the costumes and stuff like that. And that, I think, is one reason so many books are so late and, you know, take so long, because, you know, that initial really cool sketch where you're thinking like, oh yeah, man, this is the best. You got to draw that over and over again. You've got to. I feel bad. But you know what? Hey, if they really like doing that stuff, then more power to them. If they can get it done and it's consistent and it looks good, it'll last. The only trouble is sometimes you get a creator that thinks it's going to be awesome at first, and then they get bored with it. Pete says, if you're lucky, that inquiry will into whatever it is you're looking for is never really found. Well, yeah. But for me, I think the thing that became the most important was speed and consistency. Two things. You know, consistency for the most part, because once you get a consistent style, you know, there's not a lot to pull you out of the book. And speed, because you want it done. This is not fine art. This is commercial art. You know, it's supposed to be done and kicked out the door. You know, different people, different definitions, I suppose. Lately, I've been looking at a lot at the differences between. All right, so there we're flattened. Perfect. I'm gonna go ahead and save that. The differences between manga, European, and American comics, and you know, more often than not, the European stuff is very painterly with the square lettering bubbles and stuff, or boxes, and manga, of course, very black and white usually, lots and lots of speed lines. But oops, really interesting to see somebody's, oh no, we want Hatton. Okay, it's really interesting to see somebody's influences and how they shake out. Like, I just got this book from Fantagraphics, and this is, oh, here we go, we're back. This one's even worse. All right, I think we're okay. Wow, I tell you what, they're really out in force today, these bots. There we go. I think we got it. Okay, so now we've got this, and see, with flat coloring, if you do this right, let me get some inks and stuff like that. You don't really need to do a lot of shading, because these will take care of it. You know, you get guys like, if you look at like Joe Kubert's stuff, he didn't hardly have, it was all flat. He didn't even have to worry about like basically drawing it like a coloring book, so the colorist could do the heavy lifting. All you had to do is put a flat green down on the shirt, and the shaded parts look shaded because the ink did all the work, you know? So that's, for speed reasons as well, that's kind of like the style that I chose. Now, we're going to have a problem here, right, with the chicken, because that is too flat. So what we got to do, hit chicken above it. Fighting CH, we'll call it. What the heck? All right, so what do we want? We want this, and then we're just going to move it up on this track up here a little bit. You don't need to, you know, bring it all around here. Just go ahead and take the teardropper, or the thing, and yeah, We'll just, where's the light source? We'll say it's coming from up there. All right, take this, move that up, see what that looks like. Too weird looking. I don't know if I like that. Okay, we'll go the opposite direction. There we go. Perfect. Okay, so like that. He'd probably, if the light's coming from there, would have some of this. Just call that. And then we'll hit this real quick right here. It's just some subtle stuff. All right. Great. But you know what? We maybe will do a little tiny bit of shading here, just to bring it that much more out. There. All right. That's not terrible. Okay. I don't really need shading because it's perfect as is. Inks. Let's just see here. There we go. There we are. Okay. So we got that down. Got a little bit of depth here with this, out there, and then I might even just go ahead and add some highlights to those boards there. Where are the fence? Okay, there we go. There we go. Let's just add a little bit of texture, a little something there. Yeah. There we go. Oh, don't need that. Okay. Whoops, we want this out. Yeah, I hear you, Peep. Everything these days is airbrushed and glowy. Prefers less shading. Yeah, me too. I mean, there's a time and a place for the airbrush stuff, but where are we? But I honestly, I think I prefer the flat color just because A, it really does have that kind of classic comic feel. B, if you do it right, use color theory, everything will pop out just fine. It'll look 3D. There'll be depth. There'll be everything you need in a comic. And I might add, flat coloring I think looks better on any kind of paper. All right. If you take some of that gradient stuff and you put it like in newsprint, oh my goodness gracious, it tends to make it muddy and it looks horrible. So, I mean, not everybody really uses newsprint, but for me, that's kind of like the case in point. Like, it's going to look good no matter where you reprint it, how you reprint it. Maybe down the line, you really want to do a cheap edition or something like that for people. That's going to be a little tougher. Let's go to the ground here. Do a little bit of let's go right like this. So here. There we go. Just a little texture on the road. There we go. So now what I want to do, I think, is, let's see here. Let's go back to this base color here, and I want to look at this. And I think I just want to make that just a little bit smaller here. Yeah, perfect. No, I don't like that. It's kind of peachy. Colored, right? All right. So, yeah, All right, now we're going to go with a paint. And then we're going to make this dense. No, we don't want that. We want perfect. All right, now we're going to select all these. You know what I can do? I can do this. Select them all like that. Now, I'm just going to I don't like that. Maybe I'll just a little less harsh. There, it's a little bit better. Okay, so now we've got that. And the only reason I do that, I didn't really want it to be such a harsh yellow for when I do a little bit of this lettering. All right. Don't lack. Your lettering, you know, you can certainly like just backspace and hit forward and stuff until you kind of hit what you want. That, bring this in, yeah, not bad, not bad. Put that there. Maybe I'll bring this down a little bit. So we hit. Okay. Ah. Huh. Okay. Pretty good. All right, now what we need is, let's look at some of these. I need something kind of blocky. That might work. All right. Okay. Resize that. Put that right here. Yep. Right there. Okay, now I need this. Okay. Yeah. This is where it starts to get a little bit like laborious when you're doing this kind of stuff. It's quick, but it's not like the magic of comics, you know. What are we coming up on our hour? Perfect. Let me just get a little bit of a edge on that. Black. There we go. Good enough. All right. Yeah. That's not too bad at all. Okay, let's go to this. Here. Try to make it so it frames it, but all right, almost done. I'll let you guys get on with your days. All right, get that tail. The balloon pen. I like a balloon pen here. Oops. All right, we're gonna combine all these. Merge with layer below. I'm sure there's some letter that'll see this and just start screaming at his screen. But you know what? It's not too bad. Nope. How do we want to do this here? That's okay. All right. Maybe you know what I'll do? I'm going to go into the bottom layer, and I'm going to just lightly take that color out. There we go. Kind of isolate that a little bit. Okay, I think that's what we got. So let's just stop sharing here. And I will bid you a good day. Get this put up on Twitter. Hope to see you again sometime. Thank you very much for coming in, and have a wonderful morning, evening, or night, whenever it is you're watching this. As always, I'm Statistical L0, your pal. Rest easy when you get there.